Here we are in New Yard. Look for the giant red brick building with white columns and you'll see Harvard's main library, the Harry Elkins Widener Memorial Library. It was constructed in 1915 in memory of Harry Elkins Widener, class of 1907. Now Harry was a wealthy young man, and upon graduation he decided to go to Europe on a rare book collecting expedition. He not only found a first edition copy of Francis Bacon's essays, but also stumbled upon a Gutenberg Bible. Of course, Harry was thrilled and he wanted to rush home as soon as possible to show his friends and family exactly what he had found. Now, can anyone tell me exactly what would have been the fastest mode of transportation from Europe to America during this time? The Titanic, that's right. Harry had a ticket aboard the Titanic. It's not all doom and gloom just yet. After all, Harry was a wealthy young man and thus had a first-class ticket and was guaranteed a seat aboard a lifeboat. Now, Harvard teaches you many things, but not common sense. So when Harry figured out that he had left his books in his room, he rushed back to his room, and by the time he got back up on deck, there were no seats in a lifeboat left. Harry would go down with the ship.
Harry's mother, Mrs. Widener, was so upset at the loss of her son, so she did what any rich, grieving mother were to do, donate $3.5 million to build a library in her son's honor. Now, she was a little afraid that in the future, another grieving mother would come along and tear down her library. So she put 3 stipulations on the construction of Widener Library. The first was that no stone, brick, or mortar could ever be moved from the exterior of Widener Library. So what you see is what Widener would have looked like on any day in 1915. Now, stipulation number 2, this one's a little weird. Mrs. Widener wanted a reading room to be built in Widener Library for her son Harry, and every day fresh daffodils had to be placed inside. And finally, the third stipulation, this is the worst of them all. She believed until her dying day that if only poor Harry had known how to swim, he would have been able to escape the sinking of the Titanic. Now, clearly, Mrs. Widener had never seen the James Cameron blockbuster with the whirlpool sucking people in, the frigid hypothermic-inducing temperatures, and of course, Jack and Rose. Jack, I'll never let you go! So she said when students wanted to graduate from Harvard, they first had to pass a swim test.